So you've built your app, you've vibe coded it, and now you want to launch it onto the iOS App Store. Well, getting your mobile app approved by Apple traditionally isn't any walk in the park. So when I was building my app, DropCard app, which is contact management platform where you can exchange information with people at events and conferences and have a way of organizing the contacts that you meet, I really thought hard about what will make getting this app approved on the Apple Store as frictionless as possible. So if I take you back more than 10 years ago, I actually had an app platform back then. It was a mobile app platform called Share Anonymous. At the time, it was related to mental health. And basically, I built this to solve the problem with suicide on college campuses. This is way before vibe coding, way before AI coding. And I went through the process over the course of literally 4 years working with developers, working with designers, actually classes and services in order to get this done. Got it onto TestFlight and then submitted it to the App Store. Now, the process of actually getting apps approved have traditionally and historically always been very difficult with Apple. And so when it came to launching DropCard, I really had that at the back of my mind. And also knowing I have friends and colleagues who getting their apps onto the App Store have always been some sort of challenge. And so when I launched DropCard, it took me 2 tries to actually get it approved by Apple. And if I'm being honest with you, I was actually very surprised that it happened in just 2 tries. And so in this video, I want to go through what some of the things I put together and did in order to make it through the Apple app approval process relatively seamless. And so I have up here actually the response I got from the first time. I mentioned it took 2 tries to get it approved. The first try, I got rejected, and the reason it got rejected was for 2 reasons. The first reason is because if you look at my app DropCard, at the time when I originally launched it, I had just a login with Google. I didn't have any sign in with Apple. And so Apple's pretty particular about basically having an ability to sign into iPhone apps through Apple, which makes sense. It's kind of like, selling their own drug, if you will. Um, and so you had to provide an option where people can log in, where the data collected is limited to user's name and email address, and some other, I guess, elements of what logging in with Apple entails. Basically, they wanted me to add the sign in with Apple button. And the second challenge I dealt with was having a functional link to the terms of use, EULA. It's a specific Apple related terms of use. So if I click on here to show you what that looks like, this right here, this license application and user license agreement, this had to be a part of my terms of services. So if I go onto my landing page, so this is the landing page for DropCard app right here, and then I scroll down, I go to the terms of services. I had a terms of services here, but I didn't have this Apple App Store additional terms EULA. And so basically all I had to do was add this to my terms of services. And so if I go back, once I included those 2 additions to the app, I was actually able to get it approved on the store. And that was just the second submission. And so within Apple Connect, so when you are looking to launch your app on the iOS store, you need an Apple developer account. And so if you go and literally just type into Google Apple developer account, it'll pull up Apple developer portal that you can create an account for. And it's $99 a year, $99 a year in order to launch as many apps as you would like. And then when you have access to this account, so if I just click account, I'm already logged in, you'll come to this area where you see Apple Store Connect, certificates, IDs, and profiles, and then also services here. To speak on that terms of services, so I mentioned the terms of the EULA, this license application and user license agreement. So once you've gotten your account, then you now have what you need in order to submit to TestFlight. TestFlight is the alpha and beta testing for alpha. Once you've gotten to the point where you're distributing it officially on the App Store, if you go specifically to app information, you'll find in license agreement, you can edit that license agreement, and that's where you will paste in that EULA agreement. So applying that and then having the the sign in with Apple is what enabled my app to get approved. Now, the process of filling out everything else in regard to getting ready for the test flight, the beta version of app of testing, and then also distribution, there were other parts that needed to be filled out as well. And I was able to use ChatGPT to walk me through each and every step. Now, what I'll say is when you think about some of the app builders on the market, so if you look at, for example, Rork.com or Vibecode app, both of these platforms use the React Native framework. So that React Native framework and the way that they have built out their platforms, you can actually submit directly to the App Store. I would also include AnythingAI as a part of that category as well. You can also build mobile apps with AnythingAI. All three of these you can submit directly to the App Store, and it'll submit it to the TestFlight for you. And so then you'll already have a build on TestFlight if you build the app through one of these platforms. And then it's a matter of preparing it for distribution, which you'll click on distribution and then go down the line of everything that has to get filled out. If you have a subscription app, then you're gonna have to fill out subscription, create a name for what the subscription is. In my case, I have a monthly subscription and an annual subscription, and you choose what countries it's going to be made available for. If I go back, you'll see app privacy. You have to choose what data gets linked and not linked. You add in your privacy policy. Each of these steps that you have to take, you can use ChatGPT to guide you through them. And if you want the guide that covers the gamut of what you'll need in order to submit and get your app approved on the App Store, then definitely join Vibe Code Pioneers. I have a bunch of people here who are working through MVPs and different projects, mostly apps, but also AI systems. That guide will be posted in Vibe Code Pioneers, so you can get info on the specifics of what I'm touching upon in this video. So that is the process in a nutshell. Those were the two reasons why I got rejected the first time. Once I corrected it, I was able to submit again. I submitted within a day and I got my app approved. I believe it was on October 13th, and was able to begin using it and sharing it with people around me. Now, the next step from there is beginning to market the app and start to get feedback to determine what to iterate on and continue to grow it out from there. So that's it. Getting your app approved on the Apple Store, it's less daunting than it seems. It can be done. And I'll say that a lot of people right now, especially in the vibe coding space, they don't talk all that much about actually getting your app approved. There's a lot of people who talk about they say sending your app to the App Store. There's a lot of people talk about TestFlight. But I don't think I've seen anyone really talk about actually getting it approved on the App Store. In my case, I built my apps with Cursor. I didn't use Rork Vibecode app or anything AI for DropCard specifically, and so I used Xcode. I had Xcode connected to Cursor, and then I was able to submit from Xcode to TestFlight. And so, if I want to show that briefly, I can actually pull up my Xcode. So on Xcode, in order to submit, what you do is you go to Product, you click on Archive at the top here, and then it'll actually pull up an archive of the app. You can click Validate App. It'll check for any issues that'll prevent it from being distributed. And then all you do is literally click Distribute App, and that'll send it to the App Store. Specifically to TestFlight. And then once you have it on TestFlight, you can choose who you want to share it with. So you can create a testing group. You name the group. You can add different email addresses for people you want to test it with. And then when you're ready to actually launch it to the store, you go to distribution. and then you fill out the different tabs for general and app store. And again, ChatGPT can walk you through that. But I will have a guide for you. So that's pretty much it. I wish you guys a happy app building. And I think over the next 12 to 24 months, this is going to really run rampant as far as people building apps, all sorts of apps, web apps and mobile apps. So yeah, if you're watching this video, you're getting a real head start on this sort of movement, especially with vibe coding. I will see you guys next time.